And we are delighted to have you with us. The Diamondbacks and Bob Melvin in town. Their first and only trip of the year to Milwaukee. Bob Melvin in his 5th year skippering this ball club, former manager of the year in the National League, and his lineup looks like this. The switch hitter Felipe Lopez leads off at second base, Chris Young the center fielder, and Chad Tracy at first. Middle of the order is Mark Reynolds, Connor Jackson, and Justin Upton, with Chris Snyder, Josh Wilson, and Max Scherzer rounding it out.
And the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on Jeff Suppan coming off 2 pretty good starts. One of the reasons he's got good movement on all of his pitches, particularly his fastball. He's been on the corners and down in the zone. Changeup's been pretty good. A lot of times he's been throwing that down in the count, and he's got to avoid the big inning. He gave up a 3 spot against Houston, although the Brewers did get the win in that game.
Let's check the defense behind Jeff Suppan tonight. Ken Maka has all of his regulars back in there with Braun, Cameron, and Hart in the outfield. Cameron had the day off yesterday. Bill Hall, J.J. Hardy, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder around the horn, with Jason Kendall catching Jeff Suppan. And Kendall figuring to get a lot of work here in the next couple of weeks. Mike Rivera placed on the disabled list today, so he'll be down for 15. Home plate umpire is Brian Gorman. The crew chief tonight is Jerry Davis. He's over at third base. So if there is need for a replay, keep an eye on Jerry Davis. He'll be the man who makes the call. Now the Brewers pitching well, as we pointed out in our open. And usually that leads to a lot of wins. Milwaukee winning 7 of their last 8. Suppan tonight making his 5th start of the year. And Rock trying to build on a couple of good outings on the last road trip.
Well, 3-3 and a 4.43 ERA and 8 starts against the Diamondbacks. And as you mentioned, his last 2 have been pretty good. A very good start against the Mets on the Brewers' last road trip. So trying to get that ERA down. The one thing the Brewers have been able to do so far in this series is keep the opposition off the board early. When they were struggling early in the year, it seemed like they were playing from behind just about every night.
Well, the Diamondbacks did not take advantage of that friendly home schedule, but they have won 3 of their last 4. So they come in playing pretty good baseball. They drubbed the Cubs yesterday 10-0. As Suppan deals strike 1, and away we go. Key acquisition here for Arizona this offseason, Felipe Lopez. Switch hitting second baseman, replacing Orlando Hudson. Well, Bob Melvin looking forward to this road trip. Most teams just try to hang in there at 500 away from their home ballpark. Melvin said when he looked at the schedule in the offseason, he realized that that's almost a no-win situation, because even if you get off to a great start and you have 18 home games in the month of April, there's still a lot of season to play, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to head to the postseason. Last year they were 20-8.
Yeah. Well, and it's just the opposite here in May. They've got the majority of their games on the road.
Now Arizona will play 18 of their next 24 games on the road. This trip starts in Milwaukee for 4, then to Los Angeles and San Diego. So it's an 8-game trip in all. Where the schedule really comes back to get them is August. Lopez sends one deep to right. That one is well hit and not coming back. And a leadoff home run for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Lopez now with 3 for the year. And a fast start for the D-backs here tonight against Suppan.
Now the Diamondbacks dead last in the National League in team batting average, but they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's their 23rd home run, up amongst league leaders. That was either a changeup or a slider. You can see the dot out of the hand of Jeff Suppan and up in the zone. Last couple of starts, Jeff has been pretty good keeping the ball down around the knees, not with that pitch.
First home run Suppan has allowed. To the Diamondbacks. Face the Diamondbacks this spring. As you see, Lopez with number 3. Suppan gave up a couple of home runs in Houston and has given up home runs in each of his first 5 starts, with the exception of his outing against the Mets, which to date has been his best start of the year. Lopez, his second leadoff home run this season. Chris Young gets under one. And Hall's got it for out number one.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are a club where you have to walk that fine line between trying to get ahead in the count with a fastball, because they are a notorious first ball fastball hitting club. You've got to be on the knees at the corners if you're going to throw that first pitch fastball. So a lot of times you don't have your good command, you're going to fall behind. I mean, you just don't want to throw a cookie down the middle of this group.
Well, they're built like the Brewers in a lot of ways. They do hit the long ball, and they've got a lot of young talent on their ball club. Their lineup a little more balanced than Milwaukee's. Got a couple of switch hitters to call on. Chad Tracy, the lefty, has kind of found his home run stroke again after knee surgery a few years back. Tracy with a couple of home runs and 9 RBIs thus far. Wasn't too long ago he belted 28 in a season.
Well, just a matter of this guy staying healthy. Diamondbacks sorely missed him last year. About the middle part of the year, wasn't able to get on the field much.
Little pop up, another play for Hall. And 2 gone. Well, we hope you'll make plans to join us as this homestand continues. The Brewers off to a great start. 3 wins against the Pirates. Continue their dominance of Pittsburgh. Now 15 straight wins against the Pirates and 18 consecutive victories here at Miller Park against the Buccos. And what a game yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow, Giovanni Gallardo.
Amazing what that young man has done so far this year. You take away that 1 inning where he gave up 6 runs to Cincinnati. It's been an incredible start.
Brewers wrapping up the 3-game sweep. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks were at home against the Cubs yesterday afternoon, and they picked up their 3rd win in their last 4 games. Mark Reynolds, a free swinging cleanup hitter for the D-backs. He'll strike out a lot, but he's got plenty of power as well.
And to all fields.
One and 2. Diamondbacks are 9-12 this year. They're 4.5 back in the National League West. Dodgers are out to a 14-8 start. They're the front runners. Brewers come in having won 3 in a row and now 11-10 for the season. And Milwaukee just 3.5 back of the Cardinals now, who are 15-7, but in a tie for second. It's a logjam for second place here in April.
And most of the divisions are like that. A little early yet.
Here's J.J. Hardy. And that's the inning. So 3 in a row after Lopez delivers a leadoff home run. The Diamondbacks a fast start tonight. 1-0 Arizona. with Bill Hall, Jason Kendall, and Jeff Suppan. Bill Hall has a 5-game hit streak. You see the numbers during the streak. 440 average. That includes a couple of home runs. Brewers didn't swing the bats all that well yesterday, but they have been swinging the bats well during this run of 7 out of 8. And the Crew will face the power-armed right-hander from the St. Louis area, Max Scherzer.
Yeah, the Piggly Wiggly scouting report. He's got a live fastball, mid-90s, and he's got good movement on it. His breaking pitches are a work in progress. Not going to throw too many. Change up and a slider, and he's had shoulder issues in his young career. So pitch counts are an issue for him.
Weeks goes the other way and a base hit. Nicely done.
Well, you certainly like the matchup with the Brewers against Scherzer because he does throw that power fastball, a pitch that most of the Brewers don't mind. At 80% fastballs, that's a lot. You can see that one ends up right down the middle, and Ricky Weeks doing what the Brewers have been doing in this nice stretch, taking it to the opposite field.
Now Weeks, who seems to be lining out 2 or 3 times a day, finally gets a base hit on a ground ball. He deserved that one. Leadoff runner aboard for Corey Hart. Hart at .295 has 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in. He's out to a good start this year. Never had a lot of success against the Diamondbacks, a .220 career average. But in a good spot this year in the order, batting second.
It's always nice to be batting in front of that guy right there in the on-deck circle, and it's always nice to be batting when Ricky gets on first. Not that Scherzer is going to throw any more fastballs with a base runner on because he throws an awful lot of them to start with.
Might be just enough distraction there. 0-2 on Hart. Scherzer has a pretty good slider as well, a pitch he learned in college at the University of Missouri. He's from Chesterfield, Missouri, just outside St. Louis. And a former first rounder. He had an interesting draft story. He was a first rounder in 06. He was the 11th pick in the country, but didn't sign right away. Matter of fact, he waited until just about the final minutes before the 07 draft and got big dollars and guaranteed major league money.
And a very quick climb to the major leagues.
Might have had a lot to do with it.
Sometimes that's not good for a player. Still trying to learn how to pitch at the major league level. Still hasn't won a game. That kind of stuff. You wonder maybe if they kept him down in the minor leagues a little bit longer and learn a thing or two and, you know, get over the hump.
And a fastball goes right by Corey Hart. Out number 1. Scherzer doing what he does best.
Well, still hasn't thrown a breaking pitch. That fastball right down the middle.
Let's check the defense behind Max Scherzer. Connor Jackson, Chris Young, and Justin Upton in the outfield. Very speedy in center and in right. Mark Reynolds, Josh Wilson, Felipe Lopez, and Chad Tracy around the horn, with Chris Snyder catching Scherzer. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, 7 straight games without an error, so their defense has tightened up significantly. The last error they committed was on the 22nd of April.
Yeah, but they have 11, so they were really kicking it around there for a while.
Big fastball by Braun. Diamondbacks are without Stephen Drew. He's on the disabled list. A hamstring injury, so he's going to be down about 2 weeks. Josh Wilson gets the call from AAA Reno, and he's in there at short for Drew.
It's a big loss for this Diamondbacks club. Another left-handed bat in that lineup, and he's very sure-handed out there defensively at shortstop.
Well, no Brandon Webb either for the D-backs. He's on the disabled list perhaps until June with a shoulder injury. We'll check the Firestone leaderboard up above Ryan Braun. Extra base hits in the National League. The Pirates, who just left, lead the league, but the Brewers are up there as well. Mike Cameron among league leaders in extra base hits. Diamondbacks are 5th in the league with 68, and the Brewers are right with them. Ball and a strike with 1 out. 2-1.
He's getting that fastball up there now. He's starting to get loose. 95 with the fastball. He's already thrown one changeup. He threw it to Brawny a couple of pitches ago at 85.
Still filing in here at Miller Park. Better late than never. Getting off work. Expecting a good crowd tonight on a Thursday night and expecting sellouts for the weekend games here. That one's on the corner, a strike. Braun disagreed with Brian Gorman.
That slider to Brawny right on the outside corner. Good pitch. This guy's got an 87-mile-an-hour slider. That's getting it up there pretty good.
Now, right before the draft of 07, he signed for $4.3 million guaranteed. So really, he played in the minor leagues in 07 and then just briefly in 08 before he made his major league debut. It was about a year ago that he made his big league debut, and he strikes out Ryan Braun. And 2 gone here in the first inning, both on strikeouts.
Good job of pitching right there. Change up, slider, and then he came in on Brawny. It looked like Snyder wanted it away, ended up middle in, elevated a little bit, and Brawny couldn't catch up to it.
Ricky Weeks led off with a single to right. Now back-to-back strikeouts, and here is Prince Fielder. D-backs lead it 1-0 on a Felipe Lopez leadoff homer against Suppan. Fielder comes in with 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Been walking a great deal. His on-base percentage at .389 coming into play despite a batting average of .243.
You're going to see a lot of that all summer with right-handed pitchers out there. The only left-hander in the lineup most nights. Going to be up to Mike Cameron to clean up what's out there on the bases. Left-handed pitching a little bit different. They're very careful to Braun and go after Prince.
2-0 on Fielder. And there's a strike. Brewers have never had a player walk 100 times. Fielder's got a chance to do that. He already has 16 walks before the end of April.
Yeah, Jeremy Burnett's had 99 one year. That was the close. You can't get much closer than that.
Just to look at the walk story compared to where the Brewers were last year, they are +30 through the first 21 games. They've walked 90 times this year as a team. Last year at this time, they had walked only 60 times. So a new emphasis on getting hittable pitches, not chasing balls out of the strike zone. The Brewers up and down the lineup have done a good job at that.
I think that's a lot has to do with experience. I mean, feeling comfortable in the batter's box and not feeling as though you got to be too aggressive. Let the ball get to you. See it a little bit longer.
Three and 2 the count. Weeks will get a head start at first base. 2 outs in the inning. There he goes, and Fielder takes a called strike 3. Scherzer, 3 straight strikeouts. He gets Hart, Braun, and Fielder to end the inning after the leadoff single by Weeks.
returns to the mound where he's really turned things around. In his last 2 outings, he has, well, we had a little interference there, but Jeff Suppan, he returns to the mound where he's really turned things around. He's actually has his innings and strikeouts up as well as his walks and earned runs down. You can probably go back to when Ken Maka decided to push his start back in New York to give him an extra bullpen session to figure things out. He did just that. But we also got to remember, Jeff Suppan has started 328 games since 1999. So he knows what he's doing down there, and we all know he's most effective when he keeps his strikes down in the strike zone. Guys?
All right, thanks, Telly. And back-to-back ground ball outs for Suppan. Has one out here in the second inning. Suppan giving up a first-inning homer. Felipe Lopez led off the game with a long ball to right. 1-0 Arizona. And here's Justin Upton. Brewers improved their home record to 5-4 with that win yesterday. 6-6 on the road. Ken Maka, he likes the way his ball club is playing right now, likes the variation in which they can win a ball game. They've won some high-scoring affairs. They were able to win a 1-0 game yesterday. When you really need your pitching and your defense, it was there for him.
No, a hit here or there or a pitch here and there, that could have been just the opposite. That could have been a Pirates sweep. I mean, that 10-5 game on Friday, I mean, really the Brewers blew that one open in the 8th inning.
Yeah, it was 5-5 going to the bottom of the 8th.
But, you know, it's just a matter of, I think these guys understand and, you know, able to get over the top. Pirates really struggling. I think they're really pressuring themselves, particularly against the Brewers. It's been a long time since they've beaten Milwaukee. But he's right. I mean, they're doing it in a lot of different ways.
2 balls and a strike on Upton. Another one of the talented young homegrown players for the Diamondbacks. Upton, the former #1 pick overall. That was back in 2005. His brother B.J. Upton with the Tampa Bay Rays was also a first-rounder. And another free swinger at the plate as Upton sends one high in the air to right. Corey Hart at the track with room, and he's got it for out number 2. Well, let's take you back to yesterday. If you didn't have a chance to see the highlights, Yovani Gallardo, he was impressive, folks. Struck out a career-high 11 against the Pirates. And went 8 innings, 2 hits, just 1 walk for Gallardo, and that was all the scoring the Brewers needed. Gallardo belting a home run, his 4th career home run. What else could he have done?
Upper tank. Did he clean the stadium when everybody left? Not sure. He's been impressive.
Take a 3-game span for Yovani Gallardo. His last 3 starts, check the numbers: 23 innings, just 2 runs. In those 23 innings, has 25 strikeouts and only 3 walks. And his 3rd win yesterday, Gallardo. And like Rock mentioned, you take out the 6-run inning he had on the first homestand of the year, and his numbers among the best in the league.
Yeah, and at the plate, he's 4 for 12 with a couple of homers. Don't be surprised you see Yo, pinch hitting once in a while. I mean, late in the ball game, maybe extra innings. He's been swinging the bat that well.
And he did it on a 2-strike pitch. He recognized the hanger and he put it into the seats. By the way, that home run for Gallardo, I mentioned the 4th of his career, that ties him with Brooke Kieschnick, all-time franchise leader for pitchers.
That's not a fair comparison.
Kieschnick did a little of both. He pitched and he hit.
Yep.
And like Brooks Kieschnick, I would imagine Gallardo would see a few at-bats during the season when he doesn't pitch. Everybody asking Ken Maka today about Gallardo, and plenty of superlatives to go around. Ken Maka, understandably so, very reserved in the accolades with his young pitcher.
Tough act to follow for Jeff Suppan.
Suppan hits Chris Snyder.
It's like being at a dinner and you speak right after Bob Uecker.
That's a good point.
I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do to impress anybody after that. I've done that before. Not easy.
Well, Telly was talking about, as the Brewers went to New York, Ken Maka took the opportunity to give Suppan an extra day, and that, of course, moved Gallardo up the rotation to stay on his regular rest. And really what it did, it separated Dave Bush from Jeff Suppan. But when you have a different team, you know, the Diamondbacks don't benefit, or the Brewers don't benefit from the Diamondbacks coming in. Now, when you play a like opponent and you go from Gallardo to Suppan, then there is enough of a difference to have a little bit of an impact anyway.
Yeah, you just don't want to have, you know, pitchers back-to-back that throw similar styles. I mean, not overpowering, so you try and mix it up. That's why you don't like to have lefties backing up in the rotation, one after the other.
Josh Wilson takes a strike. I'm going to remind you, tonight's game on Fox Sports Wisconsin also being presented in high definition. And for a complete listing of FSN Wisconsin HD cable providers, go to foxsports.com, keyword Wisconsin. Enjoy the beautiful pictures tonight in high definition. Young shortstop Josh Wilson in there for Stephen Drew, up from AAA Reno, the Diamondbacks' highest level minor league affiliate, now in Reno, Nevada, as opposed to Tucson. They left Tucson this year, brand new ballpark there in Reno. And as nice as it is, I'm sure Josh Wilson very glad to be in a big league stadium. There's a shot, the base hit.
Yeah, and when I was in the minor leagues, Reno was in A-ball. That was a California League team. You know, that $14 a day meal money in A-ball didn't go very far in Reno.
And what were clubhouse dues back then?
Didn't have that. There isn't one inning. Looked like a hanging breaking ball, slider that was up in the strike zone. Suppan got ahead of Wilson 0-2, and Wilson stayed in there nicely.
Suppan had Lopez at 2 strikes as well and left a slider up in the zone. Lopez hit it out. So after 2 quick outs, Suppan hits Snyder and gives up a single to Josh Wilson. And now it's Max Scherzer, the D-backs pitcher. Jumping on the first pitch, easy play for Hardy, and that's the inning. Diamondbacks strand a pair. The Brewers coming up. Mike Cameron leads off. And our Powerball home run leaderboard, Ryan Braun and Mike Cameron and Ricky Weeks all share the top spot, all with 5 apiece. The Brewers have hit 29 home runs this year. That leads all National League clubs. And it was a home run from Gallardo yesterday that plated the only run. So even in a 1-0 win, the Brewers still do what they do best. Even their pitchers do what they do best. Roof is closed tonight. Just a slight chance of rain outside. Temperature in the 50s outside Miller Park. Don't forget the half-price tickets for the 5-county region ending tomorrow. That promotion wraps up tomorrow night. So if you don't have your tickets yet, log on to Brewers.com or make a phone call. Come join us at the ballpark tomorrow.
Yeah, discounted tickets, that's not going to last forever. Get into July, August, and September.
Brewers have already hit the 2 million tickets sold mark. An incredible number. Cameron leads the way, and the flamethrower Scherzer gets ahead of him 0-2. Two big fastballs. He threw almost exclusive fastballs in the first inning. Struck out Hart, Braun, and Fielder.
Yeah, when he's in trouble and he needs to make a pitch, it's going to be that fastball. He showed a pretty good changeup, though, to Ryan Braun. That pitch looked a lot like a split-fingered fastball. Had some depth to it.
Right by Cameron, 96 miles an hour on the black, and that's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Max Scherzer.
Yeah, a lot of his fastballs have had some movement on it. This one, a four-seamer, straight as a string, right on the corner. That's a heck of a pitch.
Well, that sets up an interesting matchup tonight with Scherzer and J.J. Hardy. Hardy, known as a great fastball hitter. Among the best the Brewers have to offer, as a matter of fact. J.J. off to a slow start, 164 average, but he does have 3 homers and 7 RBIs. And he hammers that one. Oh, nice play. Wilson to his feet. The throw is in time. What a play by Josh Wilson.
Yeah, that's the way it's been going for J.J. Hardy. I mean, he hasn't really been swinging the bat like he did last year, but still in all, he's swinging a lot better than 160. I mean, he's hit some balls hard that have been right at people, and he's hit some balls hard that they've made tremendous plays. Here's a kid up for the minor leagues. A nice stab, able to get up, and a throw at a first base, able to get him. He one-hopped that one on purpose. Gave him a nice long hop. Chad Tracy, and an easy play.
2 quick outs for Scherzer. His Hall lines one to center field. That one's well hit. And this one is off the wall. Billy on his way to second. And it's a 2-out double for the Brewers. A missile over the head of the speedy Chris Young in center field.
Very quietly, Billy Hall's been swinging the bat well, too. Now over 300. A 6-game hitting streak. Nice short stroke. The key is against Scherzer, you got to get the ball down in the zone. If he gets it belt and above, you don't have much of a chance. He throws that hard. But down around mid-thigh, down around the knees where Billy got one, you can get the head on it and hit it hard. Trick is not to try and overswing, but that's a tough thing to do. Sometimes you try and swing as hard as he's throwing it.
Double number 6 for Billy Hall. And now he's at second for Kendall. And a scoring opportunity for the Brewers with 2 outs. Kendall batting 164 with no homers, 6 RBIs. And he's quickly down on the count, 0-2. If he continues to spot the fastball right there, it's going to be a long night for the Brewers as long as Scherzer's on the mound.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. He's not able to keep it up. I mean, we talked about his shoulder problems, and a lot of times his pitch counts get too high, and he's not out there very long.
0-2 to Kendall. Little bouncer out to Wilson. And that's a side. The Brewers get a double from Hall. He extends his hitting streak to 6, but come up empty in the second. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You'll always find value at your local Farm and Fleet. By Piggly Wiggly. Shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. Little Thursday night baseball in Milwaukee, and they are still coming in here. It'll be a good crowd when it's all said and done on a Thursday night. A little rain in the area earlier today. A lot of kids at the ballpark. Had a nice crowd yesterday for the afternoon game, and it's been a good homestand so far. The Brewers have won 3 in a row from the Pirates. Now welcome in the Diamondbacks for 4 before they hit the road. Just a quick 4-game road trip coming up. That'll take the Brewers to Pittsburgh and then Cincinnati. Suppan back on the mound. Starts his 3rd inning of work. Felipe Lopez, who homered off Suppan to lead off the 1st inning. Good pickup here, Rock. This is a guy who can switch hits, a good infielder, and the perfect replacement for Orlando Hudson. And
a veteran in the middle of that infield that is relatively young when you consider Mark Reynolds over there at third base, Stephen Drew when he's healthy, and got to have somebody with some experience under the belt out there.
Lopez has spent nearly a decade in the big leagues. Now 29 years of age. He was in the major leagues when he was 21 with the Blue Jays. Brewers know him from his time in Cincinnati. He's always been a National Leaguer. As he strikes out, Suppan gets him. And his first strikeout, out number 1 here in the 3rd.
That's that fastball I was talking about on the Piggly Wiggly scouting report. Good movement, starts it off the inside corner, and then with late movement catches the edge.
Well, you can help raise money for your favorite Brewers players charities during Brewers Charities Bobblehead Raffles presented by Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sunday, May 3rd, it's Ryan Braun Bobblehead Day. All you have to do is visit the Brewers Charities / Ryan Braun raffle table anytime through the 4th inning, and with every $5 donation, Rock, you'll have a chance to take home unique prizes. Visit brewers.com/bobble raffle.
I like prizes. Don't win many.
It's a new twist. The bobbleheads, because bobbleheads are so popular.
Right.
And especially here in Milwaukee. Every store you go to, there's a bobblehead. Somebody's got a bobblehead in their office. And now you can make a donation. It helps the charities of the Brewer players.
You have a bobblehead collection?
I wouldn't really call it a collection. You know, working in this business as we do, we acquire a few bobbleheads.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a Bill Schroeder bobblehead that I'm fond of.
Right.
Mm-hmm. 2-2 the count on Chris Young, the Diamondback center fielder. Chased one. Count remains 2-2. That is a good seat out there in the Toyota Tundra territory. Good spot to watch a game from out there.
Yep.
A lot of home runs end up up
there.
Good
chance
as well.
of getting a baseball, you bet.
Brewers saw a lot of the Diamondbacks this spring. They trained in Tucson, Arizona. Matter of fact, the Brewers saw the D-backs the second to last day of the Cactus League as Young skies one into shallow left and Hardy makes the play. Made it look easy. 2 up and 2 down. Carsoup.com email the booth question here, Bill Schroeder. Jamie Denning in Chippewa Falls. When the catcher sets up for an inside, outside, or high pitch, doesn't the batter see that?
Well, if he sets up too soon, he might have a chance to see it. But if you shift real late, and you see a lot of catchers do that on TV, if you watch, particularly when there's a man at second base, because the guy at second can kind of give a signal to that hitter if it's early enough to tell him where the location is. And you know, most hitters will tell you that they'd rather know location than what the pitch is. Because if you set up inside, pretty good chance it's going to be a fastball.
And a lazy pop-up. And this will be a quick inning for Suppan. 1, 2, 3. The D-backs go in order.
Go to Brewers.com today.
Under the lights and the closed roof of Miller Park. The Brewers and the D-backs. Arizona with a 1-0 lead. A leadoff home run from Felipe Lopez. Otherwise, Suppan has been on his game. And Suppan gets to hit against Max Scherzer. This is not a friendly matchup for any hitter, especially a pitcher with a bat. Just want to make sure you catch one semi-close to the barrel.
Suppan off to a pretty good start with the bat this year. But you're right. I mean, none of his hits have come against a guy like Scherzer. Doesn't mean he can't get a hit. Anybody with a bat up there is dangerous.
And Suppan down on strikes. He says, all right, Brian Gorman, I'll take that one myself.
Yep, I'm going to remember that. You better call it a strike for me. Back up slider. Not supposed to be there. Snyder reaches for it and catches the inside corner.
Back to the top of the order now, and Ricky Weeks. Brewers in kind of a catch-22 against a guy like Scherzer. Now he's throwing a lot of strikes here tonight. It's normally his downfall is that he falls behind in the count, goes deep into counts, and has a hard time getting through 5 innings. But Scherzer tonight has thrown 32 pitches, make it 33 now, 22 of those strikes. So as a hitter, you're up there feeling like you want to be aggressive and get after him early. But on the other side, you know his history is Weeks rips one into left center, a base hit. There's a quick bat right there, and Ricky Weeks has 2 hits against Max Scherzer.
As quick as Ricky's bat has ever been at the big league level. I mean, right now, at this point in the season, he slowed that waggle down in spring training, and it is really paying dividends. That pitch in on Ricky at 95 miles an hour. See the belt buckle, and the hands lead the barrel of the bat, and a bullet into left field.
So the Brewers have their 3rd hit. Weeks on once again with 1 out, and Corey Hart at the plate.
Scherzer is one of those guys you can cheat on. I mean, he doesn't have enough command, and he's not confident enough in throwing the slider for a strike. He's done it so far, but history will tell you that you can cheat a little bit and look fastball with him and try to open up a little bit. You got to with a guy throwing 95, 96.
When you say cheat, you mean in an honest kind of way?
He kind of open those hips up a little bit early, because even with his slider, he hasn't been putting them on the outside corner all the time.
So if he throws you a slider
take it.
That's a strike, and you take it, and you get struck out, you tip your hat.
Right. But most of the time, you can cheat a little bit. You know, the problem with knowing or being pretty sure you're going to get a fastball, you got to be patient, because a lot of times you know it's coming. You swing at the ones that are too high, and those are tough to hit.
Now Scherzer making his 4th start of the year. Rock mentioned his shoulder issues. Last year he spent about a month on the disabled list with shoulder fatigue, and then he was unable to answer the bell to start the season. He had a cortisone shot at his shoulder in January and wasn't ready for opening day, so he missed the first 10 days. This basically his first start of the season. Tonight making start number 4. But in those first 3 starts, he's gone 5 innings, and 4 2/3. And his last time out against the Giants, he went 4 shutout innings and then ran into all kind of trouble in the 5th inning. Gave up 4 runs in the 5th through 98 pitches in 4 2/3. So as fast as he can lock down an offense, he can give it away as well, at least this early in his career.
This guy's only been in pro ball for 2 years. So he's still learning. Learning how to pitch at this level, learning how to get hitters out, learning how to pace himself. I mean, you continue to throw fastball after fastball at 95, 96, you're not going to last very long.
Ball and 2 strikes on Hart. Weeks over at first. Hart just got a piece.
And a good job by Corey. That was a pretty good changeup. See the movement on that changeup? Looks like a split. It really does. They say it's a changeup. Not sure how he holds it, but has some pretty good downward movement on it.
Well, that'll be the key pitch for Scherzer. And whether he ends up in the bullpen as a closer or setup type pitcher or a starting pitcher, it's that 3rd pitch. A little talk about his fastball not having the kind of velocity this year that he showed last year. Made his major league debut last April, at the end of April last year. But tonight he is well oiled because he is getting it up there in the upper 90s. So his best fastball of the year. Maybe that shoulder is finally loose.
Nice and lubed up. Aren't too many guys like Roger Clemens and Nolan Ryan that can continue that mid-90s pace throughout the entire game.
2-2 to Hart. Lays off. 3 balls, 2 strikes. One thing about Scherzer that you notice, Rock, he's max effort with every pitch. Another reason probably has a tough time extending. He's got a bright future ahead of him, though. What an arm. 3-2. Weeks takes off, and Hart fouls one away. Ricky had a good jump, but Hart up there with 2 strikes. Couldn't afford to take the chance.
Hey, with a guy that throws as hard as he does, you can run on Scherzer. He's got that high leg kick. Watch the front leg. Up it goes, down, and Ricky had a pretty good jump on him and probably would have had it stolen.
So again, a full count pitch. Weeks stays put. Hart fouls it back. Nine pitch at bat for Corey Hart. Just the kind of at bat that Dale Swaim wants to see from his hitters. Pitch count a big key with Scherzer. The Diamondbacks won't let him go too far past the 100 pitch plateau. Weeks takes off, and Hart sends one high in the air. Left field, but playable. Just got under it. And Jackson makes the catch at the track. Missed it by a hair on the bat. That's it.
Well, let's see the Brewers' second time through. What adjustments they're going to make on Scherzer. Corey, as you mentioned, just missed it. That was a fastball up in the zone. And except for that one changeup that he threw to Corey able to hang in there. All fastballs. 9 fastballs in 10 pitches to Corey Hart. Watch the location, up in the zone. Now belt high, and Corey able to get a pretty good piece of it.
Scherzer has only given up 1 home run this year. That was in his last start against the Giants. Braun pounds one into the ground, and that is the inning. So Scherzer gives up a hit, but another goose egg on the board. 1-0 Arizona. Our game reset, the Brewers and the Diamondbacks, game 1 of the series, and it was a quick start for the D-backs. Felipe Lopez, the leadoff hitter, a home run to start the game. Meanwhile, Max Scherzer has locked up the Brewer hitters. 5 strikeouts already. He struck out the side in the first inning, and although he's given up 3 hits, still no runs on the board for Milwaukee. D-backs have 2 hits. One of those the long ball, so they have the early lead tonight. Suppan on the mound to start his 4th inning of work, and he'll face the middle of the Diamondbacks order. Suppan, a former Arizona Diamondback, briefly spent 1 year in Arizona, their first year. He was part of the expansion draft. Arizona drafted him from Boston. Remember how that went down, Rock, when the expansion draft came about? Arizona and Colorado got to choose players from other teams. There was a protection list.
I'm trying to remember what Brewers were lost in that expansion draft. That was a while ago.
Too bad you weren't eligible for the expansion draft, because you would have gone.
You mean the Mets?
98?
The Mets draft?
Yeah.
You guys paint me 90 years old up here all year. It didn't take long for the Diamondbacks to put together a pretty good ball club in this era of free agency, and it's not like the old days.
And they were good quick, and they had a world championship in 01. Craig Counsell was on that 2001 World Series winning team. Of course, upending the Yankees after the Yankees had won 3 straight. Counsell was the NLCS MVP that year, and remembers it well. Damian Miller, former Brewer and Wisconsinite, on that club as well. Hardy's got a long throw, but the strong arm takes care of it. The great equalizer. Reynolds put out. Excuse me, Duck. Who was named the MVP of the 2001 NLCS for the Diamondbacks? Wow.
Way to go, partner.
Sorry.
See, it's not always me giving them away, is it?
I had no idea that was the question. Another bogey. Yet another bogey tonight. Well, we'll see if you're paying attention. Connor Jackson. Ball and a strike. Jackson getting the chance to play every day in left field. Eric Burns, after signing that big 3-year contract last year, a fourth outfielder with this Diamondbacks club. Jackson's been bounced around in his career as far as positions go. Bob Melvin always trying to find a way to get his bat in the lineup. That one's well hit right center. Mike Cameron on the run, still on the run, and he runs it down. Mike Cameron had a long way to go.
And that ball was slicing away from him as it got to the wall out there. Boy, he covers a lot of ground. You don't realize how much room there is in that outfield for 3 guys to cover. But when you have a guy like Cameron in center, takes a lot of pressure off the guys in left and right. Look at this. Makes it look easy. Actually able to slow down a bit when he got to the baseball. Nice job.
That's what Cameron says about outfield play. You know, when he talks to kids, I've actually eavesdropped on him during a couple of clinics and what have you. And he said, do all your work before you get to the baseball. Get good jumps and good scouting reports. Anticipate pitches. That's one thing Cameron does so well. And, you know, we look up here and we say he got a great jump on that ball, but he's almost in motion before the pitch even is delivered.
And that's what why it's so important for pitchers to put the ball where they're supposed to, because, you know, the outfield, the infield is counting on location.
Line drive to center. Cameron will play that one on a hop. Base hit for Justin Upton.
So if you're Mike Cameron out there and you can see very well where the location of the pitch is and you see it's going to be away, I mean, you can kind of cheat over there toward right center, and it certainly helped him on that last fly ball.
All-Star ballots are out with the arch on the front. All-Star game in St. Louis this year. Make sure you vote early, vote often, and vote Brewers. Got our t-shirts here in the booth. Punching out the All-Star cards. Upton very fast, not yet a base stealer on a consistent basis, but he has blinding speed. Two outs for the D-back catcher, Chris Snyder.
Yeah, good speed helps you be a good base runner. Doesn't guarantee you're going to be a base runner or a base stealer. He's got a decent lead, but it's all about the jump. Anticipating the pitcher going home and getting a good jump, and you know, it's all about reading that pitcher's move. Every pitcher does one thing that kind of gives away where he's going with the baseball.
Snyder takes a strike. Upton has 1 stolen base this year. He's 1 for 1. Not a team that runs a lot. They'd like to run more. Bob Melvin pretty aggressive as a manager. Likes to put his guys in motion. The D-backs did steal a season high 5 bases just a few days ago against the Cubs. Among the franchise records for stolen bases in a game.
And that was one thing that the Diamondbacks did a lot of last April when they got off to their 20-8 start, but for whatever reason they stopped running. And when you don't really put the pressure on the defense, you're not hitting home runs anymore. Tough to score runs.
Well, Arizona is 6th in the league in stolen bases this year. But you need guys like Felipe Lopez and Justin Upton. You need them on base. Chris Young is another guy who can steal a lot of bases. And he is out. Upton picked off first base. Suppan with a quick move to first. So Upton wiped out, and the inning ends. Suppan gives up a hit. D-backs failed to score. Here come the Brewers.
bottom of the fourth inning. Time to check in with the crew in the community. Yesterday, Miller Park turned into Wisconsin's biggest classroom for the first annual Weather Day. Over 4,000 students showed up to receive weather tips from WTMJ Storm Team 4 meteorologists and learn about the science behind forecasting the weather. Since the turnout was such a huge success, Weather Day will return to Miller Park next year. For more information on Weather Day and other upcoming events, visit Brewers.com, guys.
That was a great event yesterday. The school near where I live, Swallow Elementary, they had their sixth graders here, and they talked about how much fun they had yesterday. And they actually had to leave the game early, Rock, but they left just after the Gallardo home run.
So they left the ballpark knowing that it was going to rain all day today?
Knowing that a 1-0 win would hold up, a 1-0 lead. So talking to the principal, Bob Hall, he said, man, it was great. There were like 4,000 kids here yesterday, and got to take a look at the weather and, get into the science of gauging the weather. So you actually learned something at the ballpark yesterday. Mighty cut for Fielder on a 3-0 pitch. How far would that have flown, right? Another one by him.
Well, that's one thing you try to avoid doing against a guy like Scherzer. When they're throwing that hard, I mean, you don't want to try and swing it as hard as he's throwing it. I mean, he's going to provide the power for you, but that's an awfully difficult thing to incorporate up there at the plate. It really is. You almost try and play pep with a guy like that. Spread out a little bit, just try and get the barrel of the bat on the baseball, and he's going to supply your power for you. It doesn't work that way all the time when you're standing in that box, though.
Well, Scherzer has it at 3-2, and Fielder strikes out. Just power on power, and Scherzer gets him. Second time he struck out Fielder, and that is punch out number 6.
And not often that Prince is going to miss that pitch. Belt high right down the middle of the play. That's the velocity of Max Scherzer. And I would imagine he hides the ball pretty well, too, because he's really throwing it by these Brewer hitters who are very good with the fastball.
And you see the bat's just under the baseball. Hitters talk about that being late life from a pitcher. So not only does it have the velocity, but it's got the extra little giddy up at the end. Cameron, a strikeout victim his last time up. Brewers do have 3 hits. Weeks, Hall, and Weeks again. Both of Ricky's hits singles. Hall drilled a double off the center field wall in the second inning. '24-year-old Max Scherzer. His major league debut was impressive. Almost a calendar year ago. Made his debut against the Houston Astros. He had been in the Diamondbacks minor league system for just a year and a month. 4 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts in his big league debut.
No, there's no doubt about his ability. I mean, he's got the stuff. It's just a matter of him being able to get out there on the mound every 5 days and make adjustments. Learn how to pitch when you don't have your good stuff. You're not going to come out of that bullpen every day with a mid-90s, 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastball. Not every game. Got to learn how to win when you don't have your good stuff. We saw that from Braden Looper early in this homestand. Didn't have his good fastball. Was still able to lead the game with the lead. That's called pitching.
Cameron gets a piece. That one slicing toward the seats, and it's up there about 5 rows. You think back to that major league debut for Scherzer. By the way, he retired 13 straight batters in his big league debut, and he was the talk of baseball when he came out. 4 1/3 perfect innings. The longest debut outing in the modern era of Major League Baseball for a pitcher who retired every batter he faced. So not only was it impressive to the eyes, but it was record-setting.
They have a stat for that, do they?
You know, the modern era is a stat you hear a lot of. That basically takes you back to 1900.
I'm talking that last one you were talking about.
Well, yeah, for a
Major League debut who retired every batter.
most consecutive batters retired, 13 in a row.
Pretty good.
There's a stat for everything. Speaking of stats, I was thinking about you today. Remember your first big league hit, your triple?
Yeah.
Well, John Buck today, the catcher from the Kansas City Royals, tripled twice today.
Really?
So he's kind of like a Bill Schroeder type guy.
So why'd you think of me?
Well, he only had 3 career triples until today, 2 more than you. And today he had 2 in one game, which I thought was incredible.
That is. John Buck, a big boy too.
He is. He's about like you. He's about 6'3", you know.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He also drove in 5 runs. The Royals beat the Blue Jays 8-6 today. Cameron launches one. This one's got a chance. It is to the left field wall. One hops out of here. Cameron hooks a double down the line. And another extra base hit. The Brewers have a hit in each of the first 4 innings against Scherzer. And another scoring opportunity.
Well, fastball down, a little bit out over the plate, and Mike Cameron, as we talked about, you get the ball down, and that velocity all of a sudden becomes hittable. You get it up about the belt, and it's very difficult to get on top of and hit hard. All 4 of the base hits against Scherzer have been down in the zone.
Double number 8 for Cameron. That's among league leaders. And Cameron's slugging percentage, which is currently 6th in the league, is bolstered with that extra base hit.
What's that you say about high fastballs?
Like chocolate cake?
Yeah.
They look good, but they're bad for you.
That's good. And it is. Particularly when the chocolate cake's about 96 miles an hour.
That's some chocolate cheese right there.
Yes.
We'll see if Hardy can deliver the run. Brewers down 1-0. Hardy hit one sharply in the second. Took a great play from Josh Wilson to get him. Hit a diving stop and then a perfect peg to first on a hop. Got in there on his hands, and Hardy skies one to Upton. Out number 2. Aflac trivia. It's like Jeopardy. We give you the answer first, then the question. Who was named the MVP of the 2001 NLCS for the D-backs? And if you were paying attention last inning, you'd know it was Craig Counsell. What a series he had. We did our inside pitch today. Drew Olson and I kind of squared off on Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling. And those two kind of came together at the pinnacle of their careers, probably, in that 0-1 season with Arizona. Counsell references Schilling and Johnson all the time and how dynamic that duo was.
They stay out of long losing streaks with those 2 guys in your rotation.
The big unit won 5 games in that postseason. Schilling won 4.
I thought you held your own pretty well against Drew.
It's kind of a mismatch.
He seemed intense.
He's had all day to get ready, and you know.
He talks like that all day on his show, doesn't he?
I know it. He's used to that kind of rhythm.
Coming after people.
I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah. We're not used to giving opinions. We just kind of report, don't we?
Just report. We don't have opinions. No one cares what we think. Not what I think, anyway. They care what you think. Well, Hall doubled his last time up. Trying to get a good pitch to hit here to drive in Cameron. The Brewers have had a man at second twice tonight and have had a man on in every inning. But Scherzer has struck out 6. Outfield extremely deep for Hall, especially Chris Young in center field. Way back there.
Oh, base hit. There's no way anybody's going to be able to throw out Mike Cameron from second base. Well, you don't have to play that deep in center field. Don't have that far to go.
Hall drove one over the head of Young his last time up. Big cut. 2-2. Even Scherzer's fastball has a little movement away from a right-handed hitter. It's got a little bit of a cut to it sometimes.
Well, sometimes, it cuts. Sometimes it sinks. Sometimes it's straight. Not an easy guy to catch.
And all the time, it's 95 plus. 2-2. Hall gets under one. And that's the inning. So the Brewers come up with another double, but cannot score. Forced shutout for Scherzer.
Join us at twitter.com/FSWisconsin, and you can tweet along with us, and we'll give you alerts and tell you what's coming up on Brewers Live post-game edition. I'll be inside the locker room getting clubhouse reaction after the game. BA and Rock, you guys can tweet too in between innings and things like that. So come on and join in on the fun.
What an actor you are, Telly. That was flawless. You could use a little housekeeping down there. You got some cables and some tape. And got to get Telly's area a little organized, don't you think, Rob?
Fix it up, yeah. Come on. Going to be down there all summer.
Yeah. Telly Hughes, there he is. Look at him.
He's tweeting.
Tweeting away. Getting all the updates first. Paying his bills. Suppan back on the mound for inning number 5. He's given up 3 hits thus far. One of them a home run by Felipe Lopez to start the game. That's the difference in the scoring right now. Chris Snyder pops one foul and out of play. Diamondbacks are dead last in the league in batting average coming in. .231 average as a team. Snyder had 132 this year. Snyder was hit by a pitch his last time up.
But it is a dangerous group of hitters because they do have some pop in their bats.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get it going.
Brewers just hoping they don't get it going until Monday. 4-game series in all. Milwaukee's going to see some good pitching this week as well. We told you about Brandon Webb. He's on the disabled list, so he's not with the club. There's a drive pulled down the left field line and foul. Man, that was hit. Just got out ahead of one, did Snyder.
Didn't look like a bad pitch, but boy, did he wait back, and he's a big, strong guy up there at the plate.
Snyder does have a home run this year, 2 RBIs. Suppan tries to put him away, 2-2.
They tried to come inside. Jason wanted it in on Snyder with a fastball after hitting the off-speed pitch that far away from him. Got to try and jam him. You don't want to allow this guy to get his arms extended.
Kendall trying to slow Suppan down. Now the 3-2. Line shot, base hit. So a clean single for Snyder. 2-strike hit for the Diamondback catcher. You could tell Suppan upset after that pitch. Maybe a little indecision on what he wanted to do there.
Well, location was right down the middle. It looked as though Jason wanted it on the outside corner. That ball split home plate right in half. And Soup's lucky he didn't hit it out of the ballpark.
So the D-backs with their 4th hit. And here's Josh Wilson, a young shortstop. He singled his last time up. On the ground, a hot one. What a play by Hall. Can he start a double play? Out there, out at first. 5-4-3 around the horn. Billy Hall, a spectacular play to get that one started.
Well, one hot bullet to the backhand, and Billy handled it beautifully. And the thing that you like about that play, he didn't rush his throw to second base. They call it the hot corner for a reason. Nice job, takes his time, a good throw to Ricky, and they turn the double play. That's a heck of a play. He knew he had time. Why rush the throw?
And Weeks hung in there tough on the turn. 2 quick outs. That's a big play in this game. And now Max Scherzer, the Diamondbacks pitcher, will hit with 2 outs. Hall continues to build quite a highlight reel of plays at third base. That reaction play he's making as well as anyone right now.
Well, he talked about it on the last roadshow, the fact that it's his 2nd year at third base and feeling more comfortable over there. Was it 3 years in a row? Billy switched positions. Shortstop to center field, then back to third base, back in the infield, and first time in a while that he's been in the same position back-to-back years. And just because you can play shortstop doesn't automatically mean you're going to be a good third baseman. A lot of players have had that transition not go well.
Well, it's an ideal spot for Hall. First of all, he has a great throwing arm and has excellent hands. He's very quick. Scherzer hangs in there. Willie Randolph was saying yesterday that he's asking Bill Hall not to trust his arm so much, his arm strength. Sometimes when you have a strong arm, you're a little bit hesitant and you give it that extra beat. He wants to make sure Hall has the proper footwork, and then the arm will follow. Not trust your arm to do more than it can. And Suppan makes it a 3-batter inning. He strikes out Scherzer. Has a couple of strikeouts. The Diamondbacks have 4 hits. Still 1-0 Arizona.
Hey, tonight's Tower of the Game winner is Just Rusty's in Wautoma, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a 2009 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite.
Good ball game tonight here at Miller Park, the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, and it's 1-0 Arizona. Each club with 4 hits. Max Scherzer has 6 strikeouts, but Jeff Suppan doing it in a much different fashion, matching him almost pitch for pitch. Outside that leadoff home run by Lopez in the first inning, Suppan nothing but zeros. Scherzer has thrown 73 pitches now. So his pitch count in the best shape it has been all year at this point of the ball game. There has been plenty of that. Fastball after fastball from Scherzer. And well located fastballs as well. Kendall gets jammed, a roller out to Reynolds. And one away. Well, Rock, Max Scherzer coming as advertised here today.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot of fastballs. He's had big velocity, 6 strikeouts, had 4 in a row at one point. He struck out the side in the first and got Cameron in the second. Brewers have been able to scatter their 4 hits, 1 each inning. You wonder how long he's going to be able to go. He's throwing awfully hard tonight.
Here's Suppan, one of the 6 strikeout victims. Suppan struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Scherzer is making his first start against the Brewers of his career. He pitched against the Crew last year. Just 1 inning, gave up 3 runs in relief. Brewers hit a couple of home runs off Scherzer last season. That was right before he went on the disabled list with a shoulder injury. J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder had home runs against Scherzer. Four and a third so far. The Brewers have a single hit in each of the first 4 innings. 2 of them doubles.
Now the impressive thing about Scherzer, not those 6 strikeouts, but has not walked a batter. I mean, before tonight, 14 2/3 innings, and he'd walked 8. That's shown good command.
Look out. That was right at the Brewers where Ken Maka stands. Now that is a delayed swing. Talk about cheating at the plate. Suppan might want to start it right now. All right.
A little better.
A little better. Fielder and Cameron are as far on the opposite corner. They're over there near Telly. Good eye for Suppan, so he's worked at 3-2. Nice. How about that? Jeff Suppan draws the walk.
And just we were talking about walks. There's his first. Kids 14 and under join the Brewers Kids Club presented by Associated Bank for just $20. You get the official club cap, piggy bank, ID, and lanyard, plus 6 Terrace Reserve ticket vouchers. Call 414-902-4000 or log on to brewers.com.
And you get a tattoo on your forehead as well. It's good to be a part of the Kids Club. They're ready to see some action here. The Brewers now back at the top of their order, 3rd time through. Suppan at first, and a big cut from Weeks. Weeks has 2 of the 4 hits for the Brewers. A couple of singles. Weeks has had a nice homestand. He's hit 2 big home runs during this homestand. Both of them put the Brewers on top. Big bounding ball. Great play. Wilson to second, and they get the out.
Wow.
What a play, not only from Josh Wilson, but Felipe Lopez as well.
Well, the only chance they had was at Suppan. You wonder why Soup didn't slide. He might have made it a little bit closer. Heck of a play on both ends. Look at Felipe Lopez able to tag the bag with his glove. Not sure if Suppan slides, he's going to be safe. But he doesn't. He's out.
And a 6-4 putout. Wilson has made 2 sparkling plays defensively tonight.
Not sure Soup even knows how to slide, does he? Pitchers slide that much?
We're not that far removed from spring training in the slip and slide.
Got to believe he's, he's slid before.
Bad break for Ricky Weeks.
That's a heck of a play.
That would have been his 3rd hit of the game.
Second good play by Wilson over there at short.
Yeah, he robbed Hardy earlier tonight. So 2 outs, runner at first. And Hart quickly down on the count, 0-2. Well, this is kind of how Scherzer was going along last time out against the Giants. He mowed him down through 4 innings, and then San Francisco erupted. 4 runs in the 5th against Scherzer. His pitch count in much better shape, despite walking the pitcher Suppan just a moment ago. Good play by Snyder behind the plate. Keeps Weeks at first base.
Yeah, they like Chris Snyder behind home plate. Big target back there. About as big as it gets behind home plate these days.
Excellent throwing catcher, which is why the Brewers haven't tried to run too much. See, Schneider has his fingers painted white. It's not for cosmetic reasons, so the pitcher can see.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 245. I believe the 6'4". I don't believe the 245. I think he's a little bit north of that.
Yeah, he's a big man. Staring down on the 6'3" Max Scherzer.
Sometimes catchers, if a pitcher has a tough time seeing the signs, they'll paint the fingernails with the whiteout. Some catchers will go with some tape around in front of the first knuckle, just so they can see a little bit better.
Fastball coming here to Hart. And the 1-2, and Hart takes it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Did you ever have to paint your fingernails, Rock?
I never did that.
Really?
No, I didn't. I used the tape.
Ah.
I was afraid that I'd forget to take the whiteout off. Come home, scare the kids.
Yes, you would.
Come on, Dad. What do you got there?
See, they're much easier to see that way.
Yeah.
See what kind of changeup Scherzer has here at 2-2. Hart puts the bat on it. Big hop for Reynolds. And that's the inning. So the Brewers have had a man on in every inning, but has 5 zeros on the board as well. And it's Lopez up there for the third time. Top of the order against Suppan. Suppan has faced just 3 over the minimum thus far. He's given up 4 hits to the Diamondbacks and has hit a batter. But he's also eliminated 2 base runners, one with a double play, the other with a pickoff.
And he's faced 9 guys in 3 innings. Not too bad. Has not walked a batter yet.
Trying to hang in there until his offense shows up.
Brewers are due. Been a while.
Boy, are they. 14, 15, 16 innings to find the last Brewer RBI by a position player. Gallardo hit the home run yesterday for the 1-0 win. Always a key stretch for Suppan. 3rd time through the batting order. His pitch count's in good shape. Got a lot of strikes on the board tonight. Suppan's longest outing of the year is 6 innings. He's done it in his last 2 starts. Well hit ball to right, base hit. And Lopez has 2 hits tonight. A home run, now a single.
That wasn't a bad pitch. I mean, for a 3-1 pitch, off speed down in the zone. Lopez able to go down and get it. Good swing. Check this pitch out. Nothing wrong with this. Off speed, anything other than the fastball. And 3-1, 2-0. You're doing a pretty good job at Lopez. Able to bang it into right field.
Runner on for Chris Young. He's among the league leaders in doubles this year. Young has 9 doubles this season. And he drops a bunt down in the air. Kendall can't quite reach it.
And remembering Chris Young from a year ago, you just got to keep the ball away from the middle end part of the plate. Got to force this guy to hit the ball to the opposite field. Got a lot of power on a pitch in on him. Most of his power is from center around to the left field line. Don't give him anything up in the zone to pull.
Another one of these young stars for the Diamondbacks. He's only 25 years old. Not a homegrown Diamondback. He actually was acquired in a trade. Remember the Javier Vasquez trade? Diamondbacks and the White Sox. Young was the player on the other end, sent to Arizona. Suppan already has 1 pickoff here tonight. Trying to keep Lopez close. Got in on the hands of Chris Young, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, that's where you have to put it. You're going to come inside on this guy. In off the plate.
Well, surprised the Diamondbacks haven't run more tonight. Lopez, big time base stealer for Bob Melvin. Only has 1 this year. One stole 44 bags in a season in the big leagues. Just 3 years ago in 06. He's got a big lead. Stays put. The 0-2 fouled away. Dangerous location on Chris Young.
And Chris Young realizes that he missed a pretty good pitch to hit. A slider that Suppan left middle part of the plate. It's not where you want to leave an 0-2 pitch.
Young has a lot of speed. He's a tough guy to double up. So far, Lopez has not tried to run. Takes off, though, and the pitch is high. Kendall's throw to second is in time. Kendall guns down Lopez. Lopez thought he snuck a hand in there.
Another bang play down at second base. That's kind of been the story of Jason's start to the season. Very good throws, but a lot of the base runners have just barely been able to get there. Look at this throw. And it looks like he is out. You know, he never really reached out for the bag. You could see that as he slid, he really didn't reach out. If he was able to do that, he would have been safe. That insult to injury looked like Ricky got him in the chops with the glove.
Got him on the hand and the chops, and that's what Lopez felt. He said, how do you call me out if he hit me in the face with the tag? But he didn't feel the swipe across the hand. It's a good call by Mike Everett. I'll tell you what, those umpires, they don't miss much.
And we give them a hard time once in a while on balls and strikes. I mean, you got to make a call on everything that goes on. Unlike, you know, the other major sports, the officiating, but those guys are very rarely wrong in their calls. I mean, hats off to the job that they do. Not easy.
And Young strikes out. Suppan got him with a breaking ball. So 2 outs. Got his strikeout number 3 for Jeff Suppan.
Yeah, good slider that time. I mean, that's exactly where you want a 2-strike pitch to Chris Young. Down and off the plate.
That's how fast an inning can change. Diamondbacks have their leadoff runner aboard, a stolen base threat. If he ends up at second there, it changes the entire complexion of the inning. Kendall made a good throw on a tough pitch to handle as well. And Suppan comes right back for the strikeout. So 2 gone. And Chad Tracy at the plate. Tracy now in his 6th year as a Diamondback. Came up in their system as well. And another guy who had 20 home run per season potential. He did it in 2 years in the big leagues. And he rolls out here. That's another 0 for Jeff Suppan. A leadoff single wiped out by Kendall's arm. Ryan Braun set to lead off when we come back.
One 1-0 game belonging to Arizona. What do you think the Brewers have to do starting now to try to get something done?
Well, it's almost like small ball. They need to get that leadoff guy on and then start trying to manufacture some runs. Had a couple doubles, one with 2 outs, the other with 1 out, but hadn't really been able to do anything.
Well, the Brewers playing some great defense. We'll talk about that in our instructional coming up after the ball game as well. But let's send it back upstairs right now to Brian and Bill.
Okay, Craig, Davey, thanks a lot. We head to the bottom of the 6th. And Braun thinking along the lines of Davey Nelson, squaring around the bunt. I hope the green guy is done revealing himself at this point. The Ryan Braun bobblehead here. Let's dial up some mojo, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Plenty of characters in the seats on a nightly basis here at Miller Park. Scherzer has been terrific tonight. The best outing of the year for Max Scherzer at this point. It's the first time all year he's able to pitch into the 6th inning, as a matter of fact. His 20th Major League appearance, has yet to post a win. Look at all the strikes from Scherzer tonight. That's been his nemesis.
Yep, 2-1 strikes to balls. Outstanding work so far, and the large majority of his pitches have been fastballs.
And Braun hits one out to Lopez. One away. Braun's 0 for 3. Scherzer just keeps chewing up the Brewer bats here.
Well, Davey said it well. I mean, when he said that the Brewers haven't really been able to get their leadoff hitter on.
Little power play from the Diamondbacks to start the game. Felipe Lopez hit a solo home run, and that home run is held up. Max Scherzer has been the story. 5 1/3 thus far, 6 strikeouts. Jeff Suppan has matched him almost pitch for pitch. Matter of fact, the Diamondbacks just one more hit than the Brewers at this point. The Fielder homered off Scherzer last year. Scherzer came out of the bullpen, gave up 3 runs in 1 inning. Fielder just has not been able to dial in that fastball.
Well, not too many of the Brewer hitters have been able to do that. Ricky Weeks is the only guy tonight that's been able to get on base. I mean, relatively consistency, and that single in the 1st inning, the only time the Brewers have had their leadoff hitter aboard.
See Fielder barking at himself for even attempting at that baseball. Able to check a swing. Scherzer has an impressive swing and miss tally tonight, and mostly on the fastball. 2-2 the count to Prince, and he lays off a good pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's the kind of pitch, as a hitter, you lay off that gives you a little confidence.
That's a good changeup. I mean, a real good changeup. You can see Prince able to hold up.
See if it turns over to the next one. The 3-2. Fielder strikes out Scherzer. A power fastball. 7 strikeouts. That's a season high for Max Scherzer.
Well, you back up that good changeup that Prince was able to lay off of, and you throw a strike right on the outside corner. And you see the 4-seam fastball grip from Max Scherzer.
All right, Brewers fans, it's text time. We're taking your questions during the game and post-game show, and you text us to 234-234. Be sure to give us your first name and city. 234-234 is the number, keyword Brewers. Scherzer's career high for strikeouts, 11. His season high just established with 7. Cameron to the opposite field, a liner that's going to fall, a base hit. Mike Cameron with 2 hits. And again, the Brewers put Scherzer in the stretch.
Well, that was pitch 100 for Scherzer, and it looked like a breaking pitch. Mike Cameron able to wait back and punch into right field. Tough to do that when you're dialing up for that fastball like the Brewers have. Actually, that was a changeup. I knew it had a wrinkle in it. Stayed back nice. That's a tough thing to do when a guy's throwing as hard as he is.
All right, so here's Hardy, who homered off Scherzer last year. A bolt here. The Brewers take the lead as Hardy takes one high and tight. Milwaukee has had at least 1 base runner in every inning against Scherzer. He has not had a clean inning yet. Hardy's hit 3 this year. Cameron with great speed at first. JJ hit one sharply in the second inning. Took a great play, a diving stop from Josh Wilson to rob him of a hit. He's 0 for 2. Strike. Could be Scherzer's last hitter as he's pushed over the 100 pitch plateau. And they'll be very cautious with this young right-hander. Hall would be next. Hardy would love to give him a shot in this 6th inning with men on.
And nobody loosening up in that Diamondback bullpen. And you know, Bob Melvin wants to keep Scherzer out there as long as he can. That bullpen has struggled from time to time this year. That's not their strong suit.
It's the most pitches Scherzer has thrown this year. And the 1-1, Hardy lays off. Good take on a high fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Scherzer has only walked 1 tonight. He walked Jeff Suppan in the 5th inning. 7 strikeouts and 1 walk. Coming back with a fastball here. 2-1. And Hardy had a big cut. Well, JJ's had a lot of success against the Diamondbacks. He's an Arizona native from Tucson, and you see JJ's numbers against the D-backs last year. .520 average, including 4 home runs and 8 RBIs, and a .373 career hitter against Arizona.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. And when JJ gets it going, I mean, he's going to bunch those hits together. Drew was 5-2 against the Diamondbacks last year. JJ, one of the reasons.
Brian Price, pitching coach, talking it over with Bob Melvin. Anxious moments in that Diamondback dugout. They know Scherzer is nearing the end. Full count to Hardy. Cameron will take off with the pitch. There he goes. And Hardy pops it up. Shallow left center, and it's Jackson who wants it. And that's the inning. Scherzer, another 0. 6 shutout innings for the young right-hander. Is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Well, Max Scherzer dominant tonight and likely done for the game, especially if the high fives are any indication. 6 innings for Scherzer, shutout innings at that, and he strikes out 7. And it looks like he is finished for the night. So Suppan back out there for the 7th inning of work, trying to make it his longest outing of the year and trying to keep this game a 1-0 Diamondbacks lead.
Well, if Soup's pitch count's in very good shape. He's got 90 pitches through 6 innings.
Flash Gordon will be next for the D-backs. It's a huge inning here for Jeff Suppan and the Brewers to try to get it back to the dugout, down 1 and into that Arizona bullpen, which has been their nemesis. Mark DeFelice getting loose for the Crew. Diamondbacks pitching has held the opponent scoreless for 17 straight innings. They shut out the Cubs yesterday, and 6 shutout innings today from Scherzer. So over the last 3 games, 17 scoreless. Doug Davis started and combined for the shutout yesterday. Easy play for Hardy. Suppan, another ground out. And it's one away as Reynolds rolls out 6-3.
Hey, Brewer fans, you can enjoy great baseball at a tasty price when you purchase Terrace Reserve seats for only $6. That's courtesy of Miller High Life. For available dates and to purchase tickets, call 414-902-4000.
Light schedule in the big leagues tonight. Only 4 National League games. The Cardinals are playing tonight, however, the division front runner. They just took the lead against the Nationals 5-4 in the 9th inning. Cardinals scored a run in the 9th inning. Pujols has another homer. He has 8 already. Cubs lead the Marlins 2-1. Cubs got a 2-run 5th, and it's held up. Jorge Cantu has homered again. He's got 7. Mike Fontenot and Milton Bradley for the Cubs have gone deep.
It's back-to-back nights for Fontenot, or 2 out of the last 3 days.
And Bradley back in the lineup after a hamstring injury. Hit his 2nd. So all of the runs in that Cubs-Marlins game coming on solo homers. Padres and the Dodgers later tonight. Gear against McDonald. 1-0 here at Miller Park. And there's a shot into the gap in right center. That's going to roll for a while. Connor Jackson around first on his way to second, and he's in there with a double.
Connor Jackson picking on a high fastball from Suppan and able to bang it into right center. Good approach. Jackson, pretty good middle speed hitter. And that one right down the middle, up around the belt, little above the belt, and he just rifles it into right center for a 1-out double. Connor Jackson pretty hot last year when the Brewers went into Arizona, if you remember. That swings the bat pretty well.
He knocked Suppan from the game. Suppan looks like he wants to stay, but DeFelice is coming in. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Here comes DeFelice. defense, and we take you back to Bill Hall starting a 5-4-3 double play in the 5th inning. And getting Suppan around a leadoff single. Suppan exits his longest outing of the year. 6 1/3 tonight for Jeff. 6 hits. No walks, 3 strikeouts, Rock. And Ken Maka making the quick call to the bullpen for Mark DeFelice here with a runner at second and 1 out.
I'll tell you, Suppan probably pitched better than he did in New York. I mean, he was very good in New York. Not bad his last time out, but really had pinpoint control tonight. And DeFelice taking over here in the 7th inning. Hasn't pitched since Monday. I mean, that's a long layoff for DeFelice, who for a while was pitching almost every day.
Yeah, DeFelice appeared in 3 straight games for the Brewers. One of the benefits of Gallardo going 8 yesterday and Villanueva closing it out, everybody got a rest with the exception of Villanueva. So big spot here in the Diamondbacks' 7th inning. And the free swinging Justin Upton at the plate.
Now this lineup plays right into the hands of DeFelice. I mean, a lot of right-handed bats, very aggressive hitters that ordinarily like to pull the baseball. That cutter should be pretty effective here in this lineup if he puts it where he wants to.
There's a strike. Well, just like Scherzer stuck with his fastball, you can imagine Jason Kendall won't do much other than the cut fastball for DeFelice to get these final 2 outs. Jackson at second. He doubled to right center. Upton able to lay off. DeFelice has had great command this year. Only 3 walks, 13 strikeouts in his 11 innings. You look at those stats and you say to yourself, wow, he must be a big power pitcher. And it's that devastating cut fastball. Little bouncer over to Hall. He's got a long throw, and it's in time, and Upton retired. So out number 2, DeFelice cutting down a very speedy base runner in Justin Upton.
Yeah, Upton trying to pull that cut fastball. That's what Mark wants him to do with it. Wants him reach. Reaches for it, rolls over the top of it, and an easy out to Billy Hall.
Suppan with 1 run allowed thus far. The runner on second, Jackson, still his responsibility. But no walks today for Jeff. Unfortunately, he cannot win this game. No offense for him. Snyder has a hit and has been on twice. He singled to center field back in the 5th inning. Was immediately wiped out on a double play. Chase the cutter there. Ball and a strike. A Philadelphia native, Mark DeFelice, trying to get the Brewers to the dugout in the 7th. On the ground to Hardy. Routine play, and DeFelice does it again. Diamondbacks get a hit. They fail to score. To the bottom of the 7th we go. It's stretch time. It has been all pitching here tonight. Max Scherzer in line for his first career Major League win. 7 strikeouts tonight from Scherzer in 6 innings. Meanwhile, Jeff Suppan goes 6 1/3, his longest outing of the year. Surrenders 6 hits, but only 1 run. That home run to Lopez. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Suppan cannot win this game. Now the Brewers get into that Arizona bullpen a little bit. Scherzer is out, and Tom Gordon, veteran right-hander, is on to work for Bob Melvin.
Well, Tom Gordon doesn't throw hard as he used to, but who does? It's only his second game as an Arizona Diamondback. Big overhand curveball. He was a closer in the big leagues. He's had a nice long career.
Well, Gordon now in his 21st season in the big leagues. Brewers saw a lot of him last year in Philadelphia. Matter of fact, spent the last 3 seasons with the Phillies, Charlie Manuel. 41 years of age, appearance number 2 for the Diamondbacks. And he will face Bill Hall to lead off, then Kendall, and then a pinch hitter most likely. Pitcher spot due up 3rd in this inning. Hall has doubled tonight. He roped one off the center field wall against Scherzer back in the 2nd. One of 5 hits allowed by Scherzer. Gordon has been on the disabled list most of the year. Had an elbow issue, pitching elbow. So he is just back in the fold. He did go down to AAA Reno and pitch a couple of games on a rehab assignment. Former Rolaids Relief Man of the Year back in '98. Had 46 saves in the big leagues in '98, pitching for the Red Sox. He was closing games as recently as 2006 for the Phillies. Before there was Brad Lidge, there was Flash Gordon in Philadelphia. Had 34 saves one year with the Phillies.
Now here's a guy I faced, partner. He started in '88.
There you go. There's still a few of them hanging in there.
Yeah.
I know that's why you're anxious for Tom Glavine to get back on the mound.
Tom Gordon was a starter back in '89 with Kansas City, 17-9.
Todd Coffey will be next. Remember, pitcher spot due up 3rd. As Hall takes ball 4. A good start for the Crew to the 7th. A leadoff walk for Milwaukee. First time they've had a leadoff base runner aboard since Weeks singled in the 1st inning.
Well, this is the Achilles heel of the Diamondbacks. I mean, their bullpen. I mean, they knew coming out of spring training that they were going to have some problems, particularly with a ailing Tom Gordon. The veteran out there, not able to get out there and give him innings. They've only got one left-hander in the bullpen. That's Scott Schoenweiss.
And that one gets away from Snyder. And Hall to 2nd. Kendall up there to bunt. And the Diamondbacks give him second base on a wild pitch.
Well, check out the pitch. I mean, that's a ball that the catcher's got to handle. I mean, it might be a wild pitch, but that's one that Chris Snyder will tell you he should have caught.
Maka checking his lineup card. See what he does with Kendall here. You would imagine there's 2 schools of thought here, right? Kendall, if he's up there to bunt the runner to the 3rd, less than 2 outs. The other school is that you take 3 shots at a base hit to drive him in.
Well, regardless, you better get Billy to 3rd base. I mean, whichever you feel comfortable with. I mean, Kendall's very good at hitting the ball to the opposite field. But I believe he's going to be up there to bunt. And what he is probably thinking is he wants to bunt it toward 3rd hard enough to make Reynolds field the baseball. The luxury of being at home. You play for the tie at home, you play for the win on the road in these types of situations.
Runner at second, nobody out. Ball and no strikes on Kendall, and he squares and he pulls the bat back, takes a strike.
You can see where Chad Tracy is, and that's exactly why you want to have Kendall bunt it toward third base. Reynolds can't leave the bag too soon, or Billy just walk into third base with a stolen base.
Well, with Kendall's bat control, Maka has some options here. He does go the other way well. He squares early. Infielders are crashing in on him. And Kendall drops a bunt down foul. Well, now things change a little bit. Ball and 2 strikes. And sends the manager pacing in the dugout. One and 2 to Kendall. Hall walked to start the inning, went to second on a wild pitch. Tying run at second for the Brewers here in the 7th inning. Best chance to score tonight. And Kendall goes the other way, and that's a base hit. Hall had to freeze for a moment just to make sure it wasn't going to be caught. And stops at third. How about Kendall coming up big with 2 strikes?
Well, whichever way, he was thinking right field the whole way. Got a pitch up in the zone. Not a very good 2-strike pitch by Tom Gordon. Didn't have to throw it that good. It was a 1-2 count. And Jason able to serve it over into right field. That's a good at bat right there.
Well, with 1 step in the doghouse, he delivers a base hit to right.
And that fastball, just too good of a fastball with 2 strikes in that situation. And Jason made him pay for it. Surprised he didn't go with that big curveball. And a beautiful approach by Jason.
That is a cricket swing right there. Excellent bat control. Kendall delivers with a hit. First and third for the Brewers. Now the go-ahead run at first base. And it's Craig Counsell to pinch hit. Maka had Duffy up there a moment ago when Hall was at second. Once Kendall reached, Duffy was pulled back and Counsell put in. Former Diamondback. And a bouncer. And Hall in between third and home. And a run down here. And the out is made. Well, the Brewers stay out of the double play, but Hall put out as Chad Tracy makes it himself 3 unassisted.
Well, did it exactly the way you have to. I mean, he did it without making a throw. No base runners able to advance. Billy Hall did the right thing, too. I mean, he got caught a little bit. But once he did get caught in a pickle, he made Chad Tracy go and get him. He didn't commit himself. Not sure you're going to be able to get 2 on that. If Billy doesn't go, they might in fact get 2 and turn the double play. Tough. That's a tough read for the guy at third base.
First out of the inning. And Dale Swain, a little base running talk with Hall. Now Ricky Weeks with 1 out. In the dirt, skips away. Kendall holds his ground. It's good play by Snyder. Anytime a catcher keeps it in front, it's a tough call for a base runner.
Well, the idea on a ball like that, I mean, Gordon's got a pretty good curveball still. He doesn't throw it real hard, but it's got a very late break, and a lot of times that'll fool a catcher. Anytime you call a curveball or any off-speed pitch with men on base, catcher has to think block. And the tough part on a curveball like the one Gordon has is you got to square those shoulders so the ball doesn't go over by the Brewer dugout.
Brewers need a big hit. Weeks has provided a couple in this homestand already. 2 on, 1 out. And that one gets away from Snyder, and both runners will advance. Snyder having a tough time with Tom Gordon.
Well, the first wild pitch was one that he should have had. That one's probably one he should have had as well. It was a slider. It looked like an off-speed pitch. slider that he just reaches for. He thought he was going to be able to get it on one hop. Goes off his foot, and everybody advances a base.
Well, he's awful wide behind the plate.
Yeah. You really can't move when you're that wide.
2 wild pitches in the inning. And now the Brewers have the tying run at third with 1 out. Go ahead run at second. Infield halfway in. And Weeks grounds one through, a base hit. Kendall will score. Counsell stops at third. He, like Hall a moment ago, had to freeze for a moment, but we are tied at 1 as Weeks delivers once again.
How about Ricky Weeks? He's got 3 base hits. That run right there, a 2-0 count. Gordon throws him an off-speed pitch, a breaking ball. A slider on 2-0. Gordon leaves in the middle part of the plate. Ricky hits it hard. I mean, Ricky's seeing the baseball so well right now. Craig Counsell couldn't go right away because he had to make sure that Kendall was going to score.
Now Weeks could easily have 4 hits tonight. He's been on 4 times. Delivers the tying run in the 7th. Brian Price making a quick trip to the mound, the D-backs pitching coach. First run given up by Gordon this year in his 2nd appearance for Arizona.
It all starts with a leadoff walk. Those things are killers, aren't they?
The 2 wild pitches didn't help his cause. Now Weeks a base stealing threat. Gordon with that slow delivery on the mound. See if he's prone to take off. Corey Hart, go ahead run at third with 1 out. A fly ball will do. And Hart lays off. And even that one went to the edge of Snyder's mitt.
That ball jumping all over the place for Snyder. He just really not feeling very comfortable. And you would figure Gordon's got to be easy compared to Scherzer, the way his ball was moving. Maybe a bit of a letdown. Maybe not concentrating as much.
Counsell is on his toes at third base. He's ready to run. In the dirt, Snyder does a nice job there. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Snyder saves a run, but Hart ahead in the count, 2-0.
Yeah, the other thing, you know, Chris Snyder just doesn't really know what Gordon's pitchers are doing. He hasn't caught him that much. He's been on the DL. He wasn't with the Diamondbacks last year. Probably one of the first time he's ever caught him. He was kind of surprised by the movement.
41-year-old Tom Gordon in a hot spot here in the 7th. And there's another one in the dirt. Snyder makes another good play. That's why those 2 wild pitches were a little bit of a surprise to us. We've seen Snyder bounce around like that a lot.
Look how wide his feet are, and a lot of times when you're that wide, you really can't shift very well. The 2 balls that got by him were pitches that he had to reach for and slide out and go get. The balls that he's blocking well are the ones right in front of him.
Counsell at third, 3-0 on Corey Hart. And there's a strike. Best fastball he's thrown, Tom Gordon. Counsell at third with Weeks at first. Ricky staying put for now. Bob Melvin seeing his bullpen surrender yet another run.
Corey Hart, a tough guy to double up.
Which might keep Weeks pinned to first. He stays put, and Hart takes ball 4. Bases are loaded with 1 out. Another great at-bat from Hart, who's been walking a lot this year. Laying off that slider, and the Brewers in business, and Bob Melvin has seen enough of Tom Gordon. Bob Melvin makes the change. Back to his bullpen. The Brewers with the bases loaded. Stay with us.
Chris Snyder, the Diamondbacks catcher, with Jason trying to bunt. One gets by him, a little backhand, and the runners at second and third. And really has done a nice job for the most part all night long, keeping that tough curveball in front of him. First time he's really seen a whole lot of Tom Gordon, maybe kind of surprised by the action of his pitches in the strike zone.
And you can almost see the body language in Bob Melvin, the Diamondback skipper, as if to say, I got to make a move here. Struggling, second time out.
He's just not throwing enough strikes.
Well, here's another flamethrower. Juan Gutierrez on the bump for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, look at the strikeouts. 16 punch-outs in just shy of 12 innings. Only 5 walks. And an opponent batting average of 209. This guy's got pretty good stuff.
Diamondbacks have some big arms in their bullpen. Chad Quall is still closing games. And he's pitching well, but all others across the board struggling a bit. Bases loaded for Braun. All tied at 1. Counsell still at third, Weeks at second, and Hart at first. And a first pitch, strike one. 95 miles an hour from Gutierrez.
You know, they say in the last homestand that this guy got up to 100 miles an hour with his fastball. That first pitch had something on it.
Had 5 strikeouts in his last time out against the Giants. Braun had a big cut. No balls and 2 strikes. Counsell still at third base. The go-ahead run. Weeks at second. And Hart at first. Weeks had the single. Everybody's reached in this inning. The only out came between third and home on a ground ball from Counsell, a fielder's choice. Billy Hall was put out. 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 wild pitches have tied this game. Now Braun trying to bust the door open here. 1-2. Fielder would be next. Braun in a big spot. Weeks tied it with a hit. Braun trying to put the Brewers on top here in the 7th. And he skies one foul. Gutierrez took a loss last week against the Rockies, but he picked up a win against the Giants his last time out. Only the 2nd win of his career. Bases full, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And Braun takes a ball. Boy, if that is thrown for a strike, that is an automatic out. Braun was not expecting a breaking ball.
Either that or a home run. That ball just kind of hanging up in his strike zone. Tried to overthrow the slider. And it looked as though it fooled Snyder. He's really fighting it right now.
Braun's done a lot of damage in his brief career with 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Go ahead to run at third base. And Braun skies one foul, and with every pitch he sees, the advantage works more in his favor.
And you wonder if Gutierrez is going to go with a slider. It's 2-2. I don't think he wants to go 3-2. It's been all fastballs. He's thrown a couple of sliders, but neither one of them have been for strikes.
Which certainly has Chris Snyder on his toes. A wild pitch here. The Brewers would take the lead. What does he have in mind? 2-2 on Braun. Got him.
That's a nice slider right there. Tight pitch. Right on the outside corner. Oh, and you got a guy throwing mid-90s and he drops that on you. Not much you can do but tip your hat. Well, it was all fastballs early in the count on Ryan Braun. That's probably the best pitch that he had to hit. Then he elevates the fastball. Gutierrez trying to get him to chase. He finally goes to that hanging slider. That's the pitch that you knew he wasn't going to mess around with again. Another foul ball. That was a pretty good one to hit. And then the slider right on the outside corner. A beauty to get Braun.
A perfect location for Gutierrez. Back to the bullpen with the left-hander Fielder coming up. Here comes Schoenweis. Last year at Miller Park against Doug Slayton, Prince Fielder going way deep. Game-winning home run June 2nd against the Diamondbacks. Bob Melvin went with the matchup, as he does here with his lone left-hander in the bullpen. Scott Schoenweis is on to work against Fielder. The Brewers have the bases loaded, now 2 outs, and Counsell still the go-ahead run at third base.
Yeah, Schoenweis in his 11th season in the major leagues, 12th appearance already. That's tied for the team lead in appearances out of the bullpen, and a pretty good start. 7 2/3 for Schoenweis. Pretty good slider, and that's probably what Prince is going to see, the slider from Schoenweis.
Schoenweis played for Willie Randolph in New York last couple of seasons. Fielder has never hit a grand slam in the big leagues. Came close earlier this year when Reed Johnson pulled one back here at Miller Park against the Cubs. Brewers have tied it on a weak single. Fielder trying to put the Crew ahead late. And a fastball strike. Left-handed hitters against Schoenweis only 2 for 15, but one of those 2 hits a long ball. Craig Counsell reached on a fielder's choice. A pinch hit roll. Ricky Weeks singled in the tying run, and Hart walked. Gutierrez struck out Ryan Braun for out number 2, and now it's Fielder with the bases full. Two balls and a strike. Nowhere to put Prince.
Well, they've been attacking Prince inside this entire at bat. Unusual for a left-handed pitcher. Usually they try to go in and then try to get him out of the way.
Three balls and a strike. Fielder doesn't chase. And now that strike zone really gets keyholed, as Fielder has it to 3-1, and the Miller Park crowd on their feet. They've got their man at the plate with the bases full. All tied at 1. The 3-1. Fielder takes ball 4. He walked him with the bases loaded. An RBI the easy way. Counsell scores, and the Brewers lead 2-1.
Well, not a whole lot Bob Melvin can do about that. His lefty just not able to throw strikes to Prince. Probably the best pitch that he had to hit right there. Then Shunwei's trying to get cute. Everything inside, even the slider in off the inside corner. That one down. Then Prince on the 3-1 count. Probably taken all the way. It just misses on the inside corner. I've never seen a left-hander try to attack Prince Fielder. Everything inside like that. Very unusual.
And Bob Melvin's going to stick with his left-hander against Mike Cameron. Golden opportunity for the Crew. They've got the matchup in their favor. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2-1, the Brewers lead it. And Cameron launches one, left field line. That is a fair ball. It bounces out. 2 runs will score. Mike Cameron, a 2 RBI double, and the Brewers lead it 4-1.
Now we talked about that bullpen for the Diamondbacks. I mean, we talked about it early in the ball game. The fact that these guys have struggled, and it has been a nightmare for the Diamondbacks since Max Scherzer left the ball game. Boy, what an inning for the Brewers. Fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Mike Cameron, his 3rd hit, 2nd double. And if that ball stays in the ballpark, I would imagine Prince Fielder scores.
2-run double for Cameron. 3 hits, 2 of them doubles here tonight. Schoenweiss gives it up. The Brewers have the lead. Another pitching change. We'll take a timeout. Hits, including 2 doubles, and just delivering a 2 RBI double. That put the Brewers ahead by 3. Fielder had walked to give the Brewers the lead. He walked with the bases loaded. And now it's John Roush at 6-11 on the pitch against J.J. Hardy.
Boy, having a tough time. The big guy, a sinking fastball, and ball apparently hasn't been sinking too much.
And Hardy launches one into left field. That is going to stay in the ballpark. Jackson makes the catch. The inning comes to an end. But the Brewers bring 9 men to bat. Cameron delivers 2 RBIs, and it's 4-1 Crew. He's the guy at the front of the rotation. He establishes everything with the rotation and the bullpen.
Albert.
He gives the bullpen
Albert
a day
plays
off.
every day. He never takes
But
a day
like I
off.
said,
In
he
his
doesn't
off year,
impact
he played
the game.
143 games.
A pitcher impacts the game
That's when he's
a lot.
hurt. He played
every fifth
143
inning.
games.
All right.
Well, the inside pitch, Brian Anderson and Drew Olson took place on the Brewers Live before the ball game today. I thought you did a pretty good job, but it's really not a fair battle. I mean, a radio guy that does that for a living every single day.
And you know me as well as anybody. That's as far from my personality.
Right.
You know, I'm not an argumentative kind of guy.
And he wouldn't even let you finish. He's butting in. It's kind of like what I do to you every day.
I know. Thanks for warming me up. Inside corner, they'll have the results of Brewers Live, and there is Todd Coffey. Had a lot of fun with Drew. He's one of our best buddies.
Yeah, he's a good man.
So Coffey appearing in his 12th game. Mark DeFelice in line for the win now. The Brewers score 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th and lead 4-1. 6 defensive outs to go to win this one, however. And a much rested bullpen for Ken Maka ready to go tonight. That's how huge. Speaking of my argument for starting pitching, that's how huge Gallardo's start was yesterday.
That's right. That's nothing like good starting pitching, partner. Although if I was to pick a pitcher, you know, that would be an impact player like that, would be a closer.
Closer.
Guy that pitches a little bit more often, like a K-Rod.
Good call.
No, not to disagree with you.
Are you arguing with me now?
I very rarely ever disagree with you.
I can only handle one argument a day.
I've always got your back, whether you're right or wrong.
Well, Gallardo went 8 yesterday. Villanueva pitched the 9th, got the save. And that allowed Ken Maka to rest everybody else, including his closer, Trevor Hoffman. Little flare. Hardy's got it. And one away. Josh Wilson saw pop up for out number 1. Miller Lite, what's on tap? This is the first of a 4-game series as the homestand concludes here. Arizona and the Brewers back on FSN Wisconsin tomorrow, WMLW on Saturday, and then Sunday 12:30 airtime on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Brewers are going to see some tough pitching the next couple of nights. They saw some tough pitching tonight. John Garland tomorrow against Manny Parra, and then Dan Herron, who is having a terrific year, could easily be 5-0 against Braden Looper. Eric Burns pinch hitting, swings at the first pitch, and an easy out.
A nice stretch of home games for the Brewers. And a short little jaunt out to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, then back home for a nice homestand. So Brewers looking to make some noise. Coming off a nice road trip.
So Coffey with 2 outs, back to the top of the order, and Lopez, whose leadoff home run held up for 6 innings tonight. Max Scherzer still without a major league win.
They deserved one tonight, that's for sure.
And for that matter, Jeff Suppan pitched well enough to win as well.
Yep.
Suppan went 6 1/3, gave up just 1 run. The home run to Lopez to start the game. Scherzer went 6 shutout and 7 strikeouts. But the Arizona bullpen faltered in the 7th. The Brewers scoring 4 times. Little bouncer, tough play here for Weeks. And it is in time for the out. Wow, he looks safe. C.B. Buckner on the call, and he rings up Lopez, who cannot believe it. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning. The Brewers will take it. Close play at first, little indecision here. Hey, good call. So here we go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Brewers coming up, leading 4-1. New pitcher, Rock. This is Esmerling Vasquez, just up from AAA Reno. Made his major league debut with a scoreless relief inning against San Francisco just 4 days ago.
He had a .93 ERA in 6 games for Reno, including 9 strikeouts and 9 2/3. So yeah, he's got a big arm.
Plenty of power arms in that Diamondbacks bullpen. They also have Tony Pena, who gets it up in the mid to upper 90s. But that bullpen has been in shambles this year for Bob Melvin. And it was against the bullpen. The Brewers score 4 runs on 3 hits. There were 2, make it 3 walks in the inning, and 2 wild pitches. Max Scherzer started this game for the Diamondbacks. He was brilliant. 6 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts. Vasquez appearing in his 3rd game as a D-back. Gave up all those runs his last time out against the Cubs. Brewers scoring a ton of runs late in ball games during this homestand. I mean, doing some big damage. 4 runs tonight in the 7th. Mark DeFelice, the pitcher of record for the win. Tom Gordon on the hook for the loss for the Diamondbacks. Nothing like a late flurry of offense for a ball club to gain confidence. It not only gives the manager some options and allows them to make some moves, pitching moves like what we saw with Suppan and Mark DeFelice. A rested bullpen offered Maka a chance to bring DeFelice in the game in the 7th.
No, for a period of time you can get away with late offense. I mean, you get 4 runs late in the ball game, but you have to have good starting pitching is what the Brewers have been getting. We talked about on our open tonight how good the starters have been. The team earned run average in this stretch of 12 games. You know, it makes the bullpen better. It gives the offense confidence that they don't have to jump on top every night and get runs early.
Well, Vasquez strikes out Bill Hall. And out number 1, our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Who else, Rock, but Mike Cameron. 2 RBI double.
He's got 15 RBIs, and it would have been nice to have him last April, wouldn't it? He has been red hot, seeing the baseball well, good on base percentage, and playing a stellar defense. Boy, I tell you, it's nice to have him.
Cameron has 3 hits tonight, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a slugging percentage well over 600, and he's among the top 5 in the National League in slugging.
And I think the biggest move that was made this winter was a move that wasn't made. You know, talking about trading Mike Cameron to the Yankees, and I think that the Brewers are very glad that they kept him.
Yeah, Doug Melvin telling us this spring that here were the Yankees spending $160 million on CC Sabathia, but yet they were asking the Brewers to pick up some of Cameron's salary. I said, well, if we're going to pay his salary, we'd rather have him.
And a quick dial tone.
Kendall into left center. Connor Jackson had him shaded into the gap, and it's 2 outs. So 2 up and 2 down for Vasquez. And it'll be Brad Nelson now to come off the bench to hit for Ken Maka. Crowd of over 26,000 here on a Thursday night. Expecting sellouts tomorrow and Saturday, and a big crowd Sunday expected. As this homestand continues, the Brewers trying to win their 4th straight game and their 8th in their last 9. Nelson still waiting on his first hit of 2009. He is 0 for 14. In the air to left. Playable for Jackson, and it's a 1-2-3 inning, and it is Trevor time. Trevor Hoffman on for his second save. When we come back, we go to the ninth. 4-1 Brew Crew. After his second save as a Brewer, sitting on 555 career saves, the all-time saves leader in Major League Baseball. He's got a 3-run lead to work with, and Rock appearing for the third time in a Brewer uniform.
Well, 3 times in the last 4 days, so that's a good sign. Apparently that oblique injury that he suffered in spring training, not a problem. So far, so good for Trevor. Had a 3-up, 3-down save against the Pirates.
And every time he comes out of that bullpen, this place gets electrified. So Hoffman trying to make it 2 for 2 in save opportunities. He saved 30 last year in 34 tries. And he will have Chris Young, Chad Tracy, and Mark Reynolds. He's got to go right through the middle of the Diamondbacks order. And for the same reasons Mark DeFelice is a good matchup against the Diamondbacks, so is Trevor Hoffman with this aggressive Diamondbacks offense.
Now you talk all you want about that changeup that Hoffman throws, but his success relies on command of that fastball, and it's been very good.
Quickly 0-2 on Chris Young. The Brewers scoring 4 runs in the 7th inning to take the lead. Weeks tied it with a hit. Fielder an RBI on a walk to put the Brewers ahead. Then Cameron drove in a pair. And Trevor strikes out Young for out number 1.
And did not throw a changeup in the entire sequence. Hey, go up there against Trevor Hoffman. The Diamondbacks have seen a ton of them. They're in the same division when he was with San Diego. 3 fastballs. This one up in the zone and gets right by Chris Young. You had to figure Young sitting changeup. Never got one.
And the Brewers bullpen has now retired 6 straight since Suppan was taken out in the 7th. Hoffman missed nearly a month with the oblique injury. Shut him down halfway through spring training. Hoffman said he had never experienced that injury before, so the rehabilitation from it was all new territory for him. A man whose workouts and preparation physically are off the charts.
Oh, and that's why he's able to be competitive and still do very well at the age of 41. Probably the hardest worker that you'll see in Major League Baseball. Got to do it.
He's fallen behind 3-0 to Tracy. There's strike one. Brewers scored all their runs in the 7th. And a 4-1 lead. The Diamondbacks got a leadoff homer from Lopez. That's been it. As Hoffman deals strike two, Tracy thought it was outside.
Boy, right on the outside corner. What a pitch on 3-1. So makes him a Hall of Famer right here.
That's a base hit. Good piece of hitting by Tracy. Going to the opposite field, and the Diamondbacks have a man on with one out. Well, the Brewers have hit 6 home runs this week. Their Powerball home run count. No home runs tonight. 3 doubles in the game, however. 2 by Mike Cameron. Mark Reynolds takes a strike. Reynolds, in 3 times at the plate, has 3 groundouts to J.J. Hardy at short. Another one of those here, and the Brewers would turn it up and seal it up. Big cut.
That's a slider right there. I didn't know he threw that.
Remember, he broke out a few this spring. Jason Kendall was talking about that this spring, that they've worked on a little slider. Just a new raker. See what he has in mind. 0-2. Into right field. Pretty well hit, but playable for Hart. 2 gone. D-backs down to their last out. Connor Jackson. Don't forget Brewers Live coming up next. Milwaukee going after their 4th straight win. Strike. That's what he came here to do. Trevor Hoffman now 2 for 2. A strikeout to end it.